What's up, TikTok? So, got a little story for you. So, people have this idea that jail's about fights, tough guys, constant drama, and it is for the most part. But one of the hardest things to deal with inside is what you might not expect. It's the mind games. It's the prison inside your mind. So, let me take you back to a moment that really messed with my head. I was in my cell doing my time, and I got word that bail hadn't been denied. And now you'd think that the worst part of jail is the time itself, but it's actually the waiting, not knowing if things will get better or if you'll get out or not. For weeks I'd be holding on to this sort of sliver of hope, thinking maybe I could get out early, or there's some sort of way I could sneak my around the justice system. And anyways, when that news came through, just hit me like a ton of bricks. All of that hope gone, just like that. And in that moment, I realized that jail isn't about serving time. It's about sort of surviving the mental battle that you have with yourself. And you're in there, you're cut off from the world, and the world is still existing to go on while you're at a standstill. And all you've got is your thoughts. And trust me, your mind can be your own worst enemy. But every day it's the same routine. You're surrounded by noise, people, chaos, and deep down it's the silence that gets you. The silence when you're alone with your thoughts, replaying every single mistake and every single what if. People think that jail changes you because of the violence or rough conditions. And for the most part, it does. But the truth is, it's the mental strain that really leaves its mark. It's the constant battles with yourself, trying to stay sane and trying to not lose hope. There were nights where I'd lay there, think about everything I'd lost, my freedom, my connections outside, and people just going on with their lives while mine was stopped. And in those moments I realized that jail isn't just a punishment, it's a test of your willpower and mental strength. But there was one thing I did learn in there, is you got to find a way to keep your mind strong, because if you let it, then jail will break you from the inside out. And if you're not out there thinking jail is something to mess with, think again. It's not just about the time you serve, it's about the person you become while serving that time. So speaking of testing you, so here's a story about how I got almost into my first fight at Silverwater MRRC within the first 5 minutes of that morning getting let out. So I have these bird tattoos on my hand, and I got them because I thought they looked cool. It's about it, really. But apparently in jail they mean something totally different. So it was my first morning after being transferred from Surrey Hills Police Station. I didn't see anyone until the next morning. So when I got out of my cell, I was just trying to figure things out. Almost like a first day of high school, except with more knives and a lot more fights, really. Still the same amount of gossip, same amount of bullshit, really. But yeah, so I was just trying to figure things out, and I was standing there in line to use the toaster when this bloke comes up to me and looks at my hands. And he goes, "Oh, you've got the flying hands." And I'm like, "What?" Very confused, just didn't think anything of it. And he's like, "Brother, you've got the flying hands, that means you can fight." He's like, "So can you?" And I was nervous. I was just trying to take in and trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. How did I end up in this place? But, I wasn't going to back down either. I said, yeah, if I had to, I can. And I was thinking, fuck, here we go. It's just like the movies or TV shows. Like, you get into the fight within the first hour, that's it, bang. And I was ready for anything to happen. My nerves and, my mental state was absolutely crushed. And I've had friends that have been in and out, but nothing really gets you ready for the situation than being in the fucking situation. But then, he turned around and handed me an extra box of milk and said, "Good attitude, welcome to jail." And he's like, "This is obviously your first time?" I said, "Thanks." And we started talking a bit, and it definitely calmed me down. He knew I was fresh inside, pretty much without even having to ask me. But at that moment, it taught me something important, but it's pretty much us against them most of the time. And that little exchange was a reminder that in jail, respect goes a long way. In and out of jail, really. So let me guys know what stories you guys want me to post next. This is great for me to express my feelings that I'm sort of having. And yeah, look, I don't know, I'm really enjoying this, so I appreciate all the love and support. Thanks, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thanks.